Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And this is another very, very important hearing on the issues of the Coast Guard and the Arctic. There's an old adage which states that failing to plan is planning to fail. Fortunately, when we come to the Arctic region, by just about any measure, the volume of planning initiatives undertaken by the federal government over the last several years has been both comprehensive in scope and substantial in number. The National Arctic Strategy, the Coast Guard High Latitude Regional Mission Analysis, the Army Corps Arctic Deepwater Port Study are just a few of the studies that have been undertaken. They clearly demonstrate that there is no failure to plan for what will be a whole of government enterprise for many years to come. But at this point, what is needed now more than ever is decisive and thoughtful decision-making, not only within the administration, but also here in Congress. And that's why this hearing is so very important today. Whether or not you believe that the Earth's climate is warming due to increased emissions of man-made greenhouse gases, that's not terribly relevant. The physical reality quickly unfolding across the high North Arctic and Antarctic continents is extremely relevant. The shrinking Arctic ice coverage, the calving of Antarctic ice sheets, Greenland's glaciers retreating at a pace never before recorded are each separately stunning developments. Taken together, however, they expose two unforgiving, remote regions of the world in the midst of a rapid, retching, systematic environmental change. And if we have learned anything, we should expect the actual pace of environmental change in each polar region to far exceed the rates projected by our climate models. So, too, we must expect human use of the Arctic to accelerate much faster than projected. And consequently, the Coast Guard, the Navy, and other federal agencies will have to grapple with new demands and challenges far sooner than anticipated. That's why we must now switch gears from planning to action. Time is critical and something we can ill afford to waste. We must begin to make some very hard but important decisions. We must ensure that the United States can decisively project and resolutely protect its sovereign interest in the Arctic and fulfill its international obligations in the Antarctic. For example, if we need a new heavy icebreaker, let's get on with cutting the steel and laying the keels for these new hulls now. If we need new Arctic deepwater ports, let us identify the sites and set the Corps of Engineers to work. If we need to ensure emergency communications and safe navigation in the Arctic, let us appropriate the funding and direct the Coast Guard to get this underway. All of these things and much more we need to do. But if we hope to shape our future in the Arctic and Antarctic, we must take decisive action before events in those rapidly evolving frontiers overwhelm our capability to respond effectively. Now is the time for us to act, to make decisions, and to set in place the laws and money to get the job done. Mr. Chairman, I look forward to this hearing.